Hello, and welcome to the 11th day update for our journey to SSF Tier 2 Rathma kill on the Druid. This has been probably the most. This has to be the most progress we have done in any day since the first day, probably, or the second day. The first 2 days were like really long, so you know they were like confusing. I don't know how much progress we actually did those days. Let's just say this is the biggest day since these 2 days. Okay, so day number 11. Okay, I'm just not gonna spoil it for you guys. I'm just not gonna spoil it. I'm gonna pull the video. I'm gonna we're gonna just like go over the stuff, see what happened, and after that, just a little bit more chit chat, and then we close it. You know the formula. Okay, let's just have a look at what happened on day number 11. What a day! Wow, I'm still a little bit hype for everything that happened. I'm just gonna let it play. I'm just gonna let it play. So over here, we started the day farming some pests. I think I'm gonna do this every day now, just to get the pest game going. We got an F edge. We slammed it for FCR, so not too exciting. A good F edge could do tier 2 Rathma or becomes ethereal. So it's one of these weapons that are kind of like more, likely to come out correctly for us. So that's kind of nice. Sadly, it slammed wrong, but whatever. It had good stats, but yeah, sadly. Anyway, off to the ruins. We dropped a ring, unique ring. That unique ring was a mana heal. Okay, I know. Wait. Before I continue, I know this doesn't look very exciting. It looks like a normal day. Okay, it picks up. It picks up. Just trust me on that. Okay, so we decided after that we're gonna run the torches. I said I'll run the torches. We identify first one, 5718, really nice Sork torch. So already kind of like a nice start. Going 5311 Sork torch, not very good. 3416 Amazon, we already had an Amazon one with 17 res, so again, not an improvement. Was kind of hoping to get maybe a better one, maybe 20 res Druid torch, maybe a really high vet one as well. Could be nice. We didn't get it, but as was, we got a few more torches. And okay, now we get going. Okay, over here we get a third Rune. This has been 11 days. This is the third Rune, not the first one. What a drop, dude. Rune for the third time. After we cubed up the Jaws, I was kind of like, I was a little sad that I didn't have a Rune to spare, because Runes is super useful, both for rune wards and for gear. You need like sometimes Runes to some setup need that extra life. So yeah, amazing drop. Really happy we got another Rune. Not sure where we'll use it yet, but we'll find out whenever we do. It'll be awesome. So yeah, we got that Rune. And over here at the river, just like 10 minutes later, you can kind of see like the time at the top right, we drop a bear rune. What? No way. We drop a Rune into a bear rune. Non-stop rune day. Let's go. Super happy about that. 4 minutes later, you already know it is rune day, so you better believe we dropped a vex rune right afterwards. So already Rune, bear rune, vex rune. This day already, it feels like a full day, right? Full day of drops. And this was after like 2.5 hours of nothing in the beginning, so it makes it even better. A little bit later, we also get over here, we drop a legendary mullet that could be either Ironstone or Schaefer's. This one ended up being Schaefer's. Schaefer's not necessarily being useful for any druid build. You can use it on Fury, but it's not like amazing or anything. We slam damage to demons, obviously not too good or anything. It's not like it's useful to us, but it was just cool to see our first Schaefer. But yeah, after like 2.5 hours of nothing in the beginning, just like in 30 minutes, dropping all of that was super hype. And wow, how I wish that was our thing. We also dropped another demon machine. And remember, demon machine is the main weapon for our Merc currently for our setup. If we can slam it with ED, EDDS, EDIAS, or 5 sockets, all those would take our damage to a whole new level. So we opened the... Yeah, I think I just wanted to be a little safer there. Yeah, it rolls 288 ED, which is pretty average. It's nothing like crazy. It's like kind of right in the middle. But still, a good slam could make it significantly better, a big improvement to what we currently have. So yeah, praying for that EDDS, EDIS, and we end up getting... Ooh, it survives, but only rolls minus requirements. Sadly, not improvement on our current one. It's pretty much the same. So again, it was exciting to drop another one. Was hoping to get one of those big slams, but is what is. We continue in the crypts, and over here in the crypts, you better not forget it is still Rune Day, and we finally drop our Ohm rune. This is the first Ohm rune we dropped, and finally we've dropped every single rune in the game during this 11 days period in the SSF challenge. What a crazy amount of like runes that we dropped. Honestly, like if I dropped this during the start of the season, I would be probably a lot richer, a lot faster. So hard work pays off. Over here in the crypt still, just like again, and by the way, this all this happened in 1 hour. All of these drops, this is just like 1 hour. You can see at the time, it hasn't even been an hour since the jaw rune. So yeah, over here we dropped this rare belt, and normally I wouldn't stop for these rare belts. Like I picked them up, but normally I don't stop the video for them. But this one, it had pretty good stats with like 24 FHR, high strength, had some life, had high res for both poison and cold, which is kind of what you want, and it slammed 2 max all, which is the perfect slam for Rathma. So obviously you can kind of see the stats now. Cold, poison, and res. These are the more important ones normally on Druid, since you're getting also fire res from your Spirit Keeper, which is normally what you use for Rathma. Flat life, tons of strength to get more vitality, and the FHR. Obviously, it's an amazing belt, especially for SSF. So this might be our Rathma belt forever. I don't know. If not, then it's gonna serve us for sure a long time. But you can definitely do tier 2 with this, even though it doesn't have poison length reduction. So amazing belt. Really happy with that. Yeah, let's keep going over here. Yeah, our next drop. What's our next drop? There is a next drop, okay? The day wasn't even over. This wasn't it. This is like, we dropped an insane belt. That wasn't enough for us. Over here, we identify some charms, and boom. 5-0 res, 10 to life. This is probably the second best small charm that I've ever made personally. I think the best one was 5-0 res, 14 life in season 9. Massive improvement. Obviously this is like a tier 2 charm, both for Declone and for Rathma. So super nice to have that kind of thing going for us. These are super hard to get by, so just having one of them is already super exciting. And we have finally at like map, I think this was map 246, we got another mend event. This is the 5th mend event that we got ever. So about like 1 per 50 maps on average. Which is, I mean, it is what it is, but still no splinters, but you can taste it. Well, how this day was going, we're gonna get a splinter today. You can just feel it. You can feel it, and it's coming. And yeah, we're kind of like going through in Players 8, killing, getting a ton of EXP from tier 1 map at level 95. And when it comes time to finally drop the gear, you can see Mendelin is ready, and sadly we did not get a splinter. I know it's a little heartbreaking, but can let it get you down. This was an amazing day. And yeah, after some maps, I figured I accumulated a ton of skulls, of perfect skulls. I had like 100, and normally I always say like re-rolling jewels is kind of a scam. You better just sell them to rich people who want to buy skulls, and like you can make currency that way if you're playing online. But I'm in SSF, I have nobody to sell skulls to, and I have nothing to do with them. I already crafted a bunch of rings, I already crafted some other stuff with the skulls. I don't have a lot of use for them than re-rolling jewels. So I figured, whatever, I'll just re-roll some jewels. What could go wrong, right? And apparently a lot can go wrong re-rolling jewels. 33 ED, 26 max. This is probably the second or third best jewel that I've ever made in general, ever. In terms of stats, I don't think there's more than 2 jewels that I've made that were better than this one. And wow, what a jewel. This will be such a massive asset. I don't know if this will be used on my gear, on my personal like Rathma gear, if I use melee, or if this will go towards the Merc. It might go towards the Merc. She really loves that max damage on her gear. So, you know, if maybe I find a better demon machine, like a really good one, I might stick it in there. I think it will be worth it. With that said, we continued mapping, and in the same map we also drop a word, right? And we already dropped 2 words. two Amazon wards before. So was really hoping the third one will finally be Druid. Let's see in a moment. So we're gonna identify it, I think, right? Yeah, over here, we take a moment. I probably tell everybody that, yeah, I've already ID'd two Amazon words. Yeah, there I go. Just saying what we did in the past. And this is the Druid ward. And I was so happy. I was so happy to see it. It was finally like a gear update type of item. It was super nice. I realized a moment later that I didn't have enough strength. I also didn't slam it yet. So I went ahead and did that. And I celebrated just a little bit, tiny bit too early. We broke it, sadly. As was, you know, sometimes things break. Like, it is okay. Still, we had a massive day in terms of finds, our biggest day in terms of like huge things. So yeah, just awesome day. And here we get a second mend event, and you can still taste it. You can still feel it. Like, I should get that splinter on day 11. I should get it. It should just drop here, right? Well, yeah, that's just how it is. Every time there is a mend event, you feel like this will be the one. So yeah, you just keep feeling it, and then it happens. And we finally, after 256 maps, which is how long it took, we finally got our splinter. 256 maps. Just letting that sink in. I was so relieved to finally see it, because I was so afraid that it will take, like, you know, weeks at this point to find the splinter. Despite the pace we were going at, like, I was starting to think, damn, this could really slow down my entire journey. And finally we got it. We got our first one, which means, of course, we will be doing Rathma. I'll be showing the clip in a moment. After dropping it, I think I took like a 40 to like 60 minutes, just like making sure I got like the right setup for Rathma. I took like a moment to like plan it out, and yeah, I want to kind of share the clip. I'll keep the music just a little bit low, and yeah, just let you see what ended up happening in our fight. I ended up going with the Maul Druid just because it made more sense given like the items I had. Like Maul or Fury, I think made like the most sense. Summoner would have been okay. I just have less killers for Summoner, and the PLR gear for Summoner wasn't as on point. And since I don't have like experience as Summoner, then I figured I might as well do it on something I'm confident I'm gonna make the kill in. So yeah, let me just share the clip, let it play, and you guys can see what happened in our phase 3. The full fight, I might upload the full fight if people want to see it. But yeah, let's just watch this part for now. All right, I'll mute myself for a little bit, and you guys can check the clip. Over here. Swap. 1, 2, 3. Swap. A little bit of a mood here. Yeah, we're hella slowed and we need to eat more. Yeah, we're big chillin'. Okay. Like way over prepared. I know, okay? You don't need to tell me. I'm feeling it. For the record, it's not my fault that I'm over prepared. Okay? It is not my fault. I wanted to go in faster. I was ready. I said I was ready 4 days ago. Okay? I said it. I said 4 days ago, I said, if I get a splinter, I'm going in. I'm ready. The game just didn't give me a splinter, okay? This is like, what a joke. It was so much easier than I remembered. Can you do tier 1 with this? Listen, usually the measurement I had is you can do tier 1 if you finish with full cube, full belt. You can jump next tier. You make that look so easy. So yeah, that was the fight. Wow. I had a feeling inside while preparing for this that I'm extremely over prepared for what I actually need to do. It's just been a long time. It's been like, I don't know, 4 months, I think, since I killed like a tier 0, maybe even more. And in my head, I was just like, how much do you need to kill tier 0? I just killed too many tier 2s that I just like my mind been blanking on how much prep I actually need. For the record, I actually did want to go on like day 6, day 7 already. I just really didn't get the splinter, so not my fault. Game fault for over preparing me. With that said, we finally had our tainted wallstone shard, and that meant we have to go get some annies, see if we can get something that's worth slamming. We dropped 2 annies. One of them was like 18 res, 70 XP, low vit. The other one was 47 vit, 90 XP, 14 res. I ended up slamming the lower res one. The reason I went with it is because obviously using something with higher XP right now is probably better. I'm in no rush to slam like the 18 res one since it's not very good. We're likely to get better ones if we keep farming pests as much, which is what I'm intending on doing now from like every day onwards. So we're likely to get better ones. This one slammed all res. For me, if I slammed 2 skills or slammed EXP on this one would have been the best. All res is okay. Vitality, if it's slammed on either of them, it's not really good. For this Annie, the reason I didn't slam is because if it hits vit, res, or EXP, then it's like pretty much not that good. Only good if it hits 2 skills. Since right now I actually don't need res, I'm way overcapped for res. So I figured I might as well go the low res one that has a bit better stats because I'm gonna keep farming with it. With that said, I felt so energetic after doing like the Declan and the Rathmas that I figured let me do 3 more maps, just like a few sewers. And we ended up dropping another demon machine, of course, hoping for that big slam. But after that long day where we got so many things done, like whatever I'm gonna get. Obviously, it rolled super bad damage, 267. That's almost minimal damage. Still, I slam it because with the right slam, it would still be better than what we're rocking right now. And ended up slamming. Come on, just look at it. Put the mouse over. Ended up slamming 4 sockets. Now 4 socket, and it ain't the max amount of sockets. It's not one of the GG slams, but compared to what we currently had, it was a big upgrade. It ended up giving us, with these kind of like average jewels, a total upgrade of about 100 ED, which was about 280 to 400 damage, I think, something like that, along these lines, which is a huge upgrade for our mapping. After that, we tried to press ourselves to do kind of like 6-minute sewers. We kind of barely made it. It was like density dependent. We were close to 6 minutes, so we definitely got our mapping timing really down. I hope to bring it to more consistent sub 6 soon, but you know, maybe that requires more skillers or more just like general gear to become, you know, the extra bit of stronger that we want to get. Anyway, on our last map, we dropped a Larzik puzzle box, and obviously Larzik puzzle box being super key in these SSF runs, since we're going to get a lot of slams that are not going to be like the free O's or the things that will let us have sockets in our gear, and we're going to need it for the GG gear that we're planning to have for tier 2. We're definitely going to need it. So yeah, that was our day number 11, and what a day. Yeah, you can see the puzzle box over here. We also did some other things. We used all the wallstone shards to kind of slam and try to break basically you know, some of these like bases. You'll see I have a bunch of yellow ones here right now, which are just ones that I broke after like crafting with them. So we did all sorts of things like that. I crafted a bunch more amulets. I crafted a bunch more weapons, like basically anything that I could like use before doing Rathma, I try to do. And the overall was a super successful day. We obviously used all the skulls for rerolls. And yeah, I'm super happy with day 11. From now on, I'm probably gonna have a more structured like farming routine. with that, like starting the day farming pests, whether I get it or not doesn't matter. Just like putting 1 hour a day into pest farming to consistently get like over the week like some amount of pests. Once I get like my next splinter, I'll probably run all the pests together, and I'll run also the torches, so I have like the BSS to run declone. And yeah, that's probably going to be like the beginning of every stream like that, and then I'm going to move on to farming maps, kind of in the hopes of finding like you know, upgrades to our Rathma gear. For declone, like I will do tier 2 clone. I'm not even concerned about it right now. I think if I get a few more summoning skills, I could probably run it with the summoner. Like the summoner is really strong at declone, but just wanted to share the declone gear that we ended up using was the G-Bane we found a couple days ago. We punched a hole in it, put an in it just to have that like extra res to overcap. This is the Spirit Keeper. I didn't punch a hole in it because it's such a well-rolled Spirit Keeper. I might box this one and use it in tier 2. It's possible, even though the slam is completely useless. The stats on it are really, really nice. We have the Venom Grip we got on like day 4, I think. Slam DD on that. We used it for 5 max poison. An amulet I crafted on day 2 that just happened to have 75 PLR and all res, so I was like, yeah, let me use that. 45 PLR ring that we crafted as well. We used the Raven Frost, not this one, a different one. Where is it? Over here. Yeah, the strength slammed ravens. Some charms that were kind of like okay for life and attack rating because they needed like a bit more. A bunch of shapeshift skillers with dex or with nothing. The belt, of course, that we made also on day 11, 26 strength, life, FHR, dual res, and you can see like the cold and poison res with the fire res from the Spirit Keeper kind of evening you out. We have the Hellslayer here, obviously. I compared the weapons. There were like free leading weapons in terms of Rathma. I think I had the gear over here. There were free leading weapons in terms of damage, and the free leading weapons were Executioner's Justice, the IK Maul, and the Hellslayer. The Hellslayer was slightly ahead in terms of damage, but obviously it attacks slower, which is like a downside compared to IK Maul that would attack at 4 FPA. This also has the Crushing Blow, which is and the damage to undead, which means it's very good against the knights, the Void Knights, but against like Rathma and Mendelin it will be a bit worse. Obviously I could have done it with any of those weapons. Here are some crafted weapons that we had. They were okay, they were not amazing. In a world where I have like perfect 1540 jewels, like these weapons would be pretty okay. But we're obviously not in that world, so it doesn't really matter. Regardless, I'm still gonna craft weapons, looking for something really, really nice. If I can get like a weapon, like a crafted weapon to do tier 2 Rathma with, I'd be super happy. Just because I think it's very cool. But who knows what will drop, honestly. We'll just have to, you know, live and see. And yeah, thank you all for following me on this journey. Day 11 was an amazing day, and having everybody there with me in the chat, just like going through the motions and the hype that was happening was really, really nice to have. I considered this a huge milestone. It's the first time we did SSF to Rathma, and this is also a message to everybody who's considering doing SSF, thinking about doing bossing, or is kind of like wondering about like, can I do bossing with like bad gear, or like I say bad gear, but kind of like not optimized gear. This is kind of like an encouragement message. You can find yourself the gear you need to do Rathma and to do declone. Just make sure you're on point, focused, and you know what you need. And yeah, you can make it work. You can make it work. Okay. That said, the game will show. I think I played about like 125 hours or something. Oh, oops. Played. Oh, 124. About rough estimation. I left the game open a couple times for like 3-4 hours at a time. So the closer amount of playtime I have is probably around 100 to 105 hours. I just forget it sometimes after I stream. I just leave the game open because I stream for long hours and I just forget. But overall, this is about the amount of time that I spent in the game, 100 to 105 hours. We did both completely self-made, declone and Rathma. Totally doable. And if that's enough for you, you can maybe say goodbye and go on your own journey. But this is kind of where my journey starts. Our goal is, of course, tier 2 Rathma, which means from now on, we're going to have to start optimizing, maximizing, and grinding harder than before. This was just the, you know, that was just the first shot, and we're gonna gun for the head by, you know, hopefully the end of the month or maybe a bit longer. that said, good luck to me on my drops in my journey, and good luck to everybody else. Bless your RNG. I'll see you on the next video, I guess, on the next stream. And yeah, thanks for following so far. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.